Today we're going to slow down and we're going to do something really fun. I thought it'd be fun to do a little life update. So over on the community tab, I posted a little picture asking for a Q&A, anything you guys wanted to ask, and we're going to sit here and we're going to wrap Christmas gifts and just chat like friends, like we are. I have my laptop here in front of me with all the questions. I have gifts over here to wrap, so we're just gonna hop right into this. Oh, I love this one. Tell us how wonderful it is having Kelsey and her family living closer to you and Jason, and will I be hosting any Christmas festivities? So first of all, you guys know Kelsey is Jason and I's daughter, and she moved, her and her family, just around the corner. It literally just takes a couple minutes to get there, so that's so fun. It's been amazing. I love having them close and being able to just spend a lot more time together where it doesn't have to feel so planned. It's so nice to just be able to hang out and run over there and, hey mom, I need some, what did she need one day? I need some sour cream and just different things like that. So it's really nice to be able to just have that type of relationship with your adult child. So that's really fun. So it's been awesome. And then one of the things you asked, you said, will I be hosting anything? Yes, they come over here Christmas Day. I always make Christmas dinner. I even think one of the questions down below was, what do we make for Christmas dinner? And I will let you know that we used to always do steak and crab legs, and we've kind of changed it. Last year, we ended up doing something completely just normal and random. We did roast. We did a roast with mashed potatoes. My kids love my mashed potatoes, and so we did that, and I bought another one, so I think that's what I plan to do again this year. This is sweet. You have amazing skin and look so youthful. Oh, who is this subscriber? You're my favorite. This is Dragonflies for Donna, 2112. She says, other than skincare, do you do anything else that makes you have such amazing and dignified and got it together look? Okay, so I have to tell you what I go and I do every month that is just down the road. The sweetest lady. I go and I get my face dermaplaned. So, you know, where you take all the little peachy fuzz hairs all off. So we do that. And then I always get my eyebrows tinted because I hardly have any eyebrows. I'm from the era of the 90s where we plucked our eyebrows so thin. And yeah, so now I hardly have any eyebrows. Plus I have hypothyroidism. So I also think that contributes to it. So other than using like Osea as my skincare, I also use Merit as my makeup. I do the dermaplaning. I do get my eyebrows tinted and a little facial. I've had like spots burnt off, things like that, things that like bug me. I am all about anybody doing anything that makes them feel better. I'm never judgmental. You do you. I want everyone to feel and look their best. Oh, this is funny. What did your high school life look like? Sports, clubs, friends? How did you spend your weekends? And did you ever skip school and get in trouble? Yes, I did. I skipped school a couple times. I have some of the best memories of this day that we all skipped school, me and Jason, which by the way, Jason and I did not go to the same school. I went to one high school, he went to another, and we had met through a mutual friend, and it was just fun because me and my friend Heather, and you guys, if you hear this growling that just happened, I have this toy over here that will not stop growling. So I don't know. It's getting sent in the mail. So I'm curious to see, is that thing just going to be growling the whole time? Anyway, and it was Jason's friend and his name was Norman. And we had the best day and skipped school and went downtown and did all this crazy stuff. And I'll just never forget it. And then another time, my cousin and I skipped school and I walked all the way home. And just as we got home, we got busted. So there was that. But my life was pretty good. I didn't really enjoy going to school. I was very good at school. I was in like honors classes and that type of thing, but I did not enjoy going to school. I did do cheerleading like middle school and the beginning of high school. And then I didn't do it later in high school. I don't know. I just was not really into it anymore. And so, but when I look back and I don't think about like my high school days as my fun days. It was my days outside of high school that I was always running around having so much fun with my friends and with Jason. Okay, this question is, what's your secret to making a calm feeling environment in your house? Okay, I actually pride myself on this, and I'll tell you why. Not pride myself, that's terrible, but I actually have something that I love. Both of my girls will both tell you that we grew up in a calm household. They never grew up in a chaotic home. We were very calm, kind of quiet. We could be silly. We were definitely silly and did all kinds of fun stuff. But sometimes they would go to other people's house and they made the comment that when they came home, they loved coming home because it was always just a really tranquil environment around here. And I love that. And I actually had that same thing growing up. And so I think that that's where I got it. And I fostered that environment. You know, we weren't just like yelling and being crazy all the time about the silliest things. We just, you know, talked respectfully, was calm, but we had fun, and we could be loud and crazy when we were like having dance parties and all the fun stuff. And so I don't really know how I fostered it, because I think it just was like ingrained in me because that's how I grew up. This is a fun question. Out of all the areas in my home, what feels the coziest and why? Okay, so you guys, this is like so silly. One, I love my living room. I love to hang out in my living room. I watch TV in my living room. That's like my hangout spot for myself in the evening. But one of my coziest places I love to sit is upstairs in my grandkid room. And that's where I do my Bible study every single morning. And so those are my two top areas that I feel like are the coziest and that I like to hang out. This is a hard gift to wrap. It's not going to be the best. I'm not a great gift wrapper, but at the same time, this is for my grandkids, so they're not going to care. They're just going to be happy to get a gift. I want to grab this gift to wrap while we do the next question, and then part of me doesn't because it's not going to stop growling. We are big How to Train Your Dragon fans, and we love Toothless. And this little guy is so cute. He's a tame and trained interactive Toothless, but he needs to calm down. We're fine. I'm going to wrap this, and this is getting sent in the mail to one of my grandkids up in Washington, so don't worry. He will never see this. How is this going to go in the mail? I was looking everywhere in here to see how I could turn this off. Wait. Never mind. I got it. I found it. Oh. Yay! Okay. This one is interesting. It says, how difficult is it to try and protect the hearts of all who love Jason but aren't necessarily in a place to see him daily? I'll be honest, I'm not really trying to protect anyone's heart. And because I think that your best way to go about, with dementia is full honesty, full transparency, and never sugarcoating it. So that way people have realistic expectations of what they can expect from Jason and so they're never shocked by anything that he does or they see or anything. So I can't protect their hearts. As much as we want to put people in a bubble so they don't see the bad, I think that if you love someone, I think it's always best for them to see the real side, and that way they understand what's going on. And then that way they can actually relate to you a little bit better and have a little bit more empathy and understand, because a lot of times people who don't see Jason and barely talk to him, because we all know he has amazing communication skills, they're always like, he's doing so well. And you know what? Jason is hanging in there. But you have to understand that just because he can talk to you doesn't mean that all is well. And so being transparent and honest is just the only way that I can think to go about doing it. And so I can't necessarily protect anyone's heart. I don't know how to wrap this gift, you guys. Leslie, I completely understand if this is too personal, but if you feel like giving an update on your autoimmune infusion treatments, as I recall, you were hoping to find a different brand that would be less painful. Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you. Yes, no, I don't mind sharing it. I love to put this kind of stuff out there to educate others and be open about it, because it's a big thing to go through every week for the rest of my life. So, it's just part of my life. first and foremost, I don't want to like correct people, but I do want to make sure that people have an understanding of what it actually is. And a lot of people always assume autoimmune. So autoimmune is usually when your body is attacking itself. That is not what I have. Mine is an immune deficiency. So you're born with IgM, which is your first line of defense. I have none of that. That's just like at the bottom of the barrel. So, if you guys encounter a virus, your first line of defense is IgM. It's going to flare up. I don't have that. So then your next line of defense is your IgG. And I am low in, there's 4 classes, and I'm low in 2 and 4. So that is what I get the infusions for, that they actually have something to help you. And so every week I sit down, I do my infusion, it gives me that IgG. So now when I get sick, I can get over it. I used to get sick and I would just be sick all the time because I never, 1, I was catching everything, and then 2, I didn't have the means to fight it. And so now I have that. It is amazing. I feel so different. I used to run fevers every night. I was so sick. Anything and everything that was going around, I was always catching, and it just drove me nuts. And I had learned to just push through and live life, and it was really difficult. And I really didn't know how bad I felt until I started the infusions. And then now I'm like, how was I even functioning? And working nights, as it was terrible. I always felt so bad, and then I just never realized that everybody else didn't feel like that also, so I didn't want to complain. It chokes me up. It was so awful. So now I am so thankful. I feel so blessed. I am doing amazing. We did. So this past year, we tried to switch to a different medicine to see if it would do a little bit better job. It actually ended up being a nightmare and caused me to, pretty much it didn't work effectively like the other one. And I was like starting to get sick again. And my body responded to it awful, and it was just terrible. Anyway, we ended up switching back, and now I have a massive protocol that I have taught myself that I do every Monday before I do it. And if I do this sequence of events I do like a cocktail of 3 different type of antihistamines and that type of thing, I can get through these infusions without having like massive pain. It's actually really, really tolerable. So we talked about this over on Instagram, but I have learned that I have to make myself a priority on Mondays, because if I don't, and I'm running around and I don't do the things that I've like taught myself to do to have a good infusion, then it goes badly. So it's really hard to make yourself a priority when that's just not like what you're used to doing. You're used to taking care of other people. So I do. I'll turn down doing things on Mondays. I'm just like try and stay focused, and it's just been amazing. It's helped so much. So thank you for checking on me and asking about me. And every Monday night, say a little prayer for me that all continues to go well, because it's been going amazing. This might be my worst wrapping job ever. Good thing he's 6 years old. He doesn't care. I sit down for a second because I have to go get the other round of presents, and I'm like, let's answer another question before I go grab more. I like this one. It says, do you have a quick solution or habits to prevent burnout or mental, emotional exhaustion? I do. I read my Bible every day. I know that's not everybody's thing. I know some people don't like when I talk about that, but that works for me. And so for the month of December, there are 24 chapters in Luke, and I've been reading a chapter a day leading up to Christmas. So I love that. I love reading about Jesus. He is my best friend. And this part chokes me up because I can't stop thinking about chapter 10 towards the end. And he's at Martha and Mary's. And Martha is running around preparing everything for the dinner. And Mary is sitting at Jesus' feet listening to him. And Martha is upset because Mary isn't helping her. And she comes over to Jesus and was like, Jesus, are you going to tell her to help me? And Jesus tells Martha that she's missing out on the good stuff, that Mary is listening and to what is good, what you're really supposed to be doing. And that right there, I never want to be a Martha. Especially during this holiday season, don't be a Martha. Don't run around feeling like you're just running around like a chicken with your head cut off, trying to prepare and have the best holiday, and you're really forgetting about what the whole holiday season is about, and that you want to be sitting at the feet of Jesus, listening to his word. And that's the lesson I want to take away and I want to remember. So anytime you're feeling emotionally exhausted, mentally exhausted, go spend time with Jesus. He's the bestest friend in the whole wide world. I love this next question. It talks about how do I always like come up with like different meal ideas, because we all know we're so tired of like cooking and everything, especially during the holiday season. I feel like that is like the worst. So one of my favorite things to do is, okay, hold on. Somebody's at the front door. What are the chances? We're talking about dinner and my Hungry Root box just came. That's epic. Hungry Root is such a lifesaver during this holiday season. Okay, it's a lifesaver all the time, but it makes me not have to think about what I'm supposed to be cooking, especially now that I'm looking at the time. I'm sure Jason's gonna want something to eat, which is perfect timing because I know I have stuff in here he's really going to enjoy. Oh yeah, I forgot I got the turkey and Swiss melts. Ooh, that's gonna be good. What I love is the majority of their recipes take 15 minutes or less, and they have over 50,000 chef-created recipes. So your options are endless. There are so many things that you can get. And then on top of the meals, they have snacks. You guys know, hallelujah, my little fruit jerky came. I have been mowing through these, and you guys know I've talked about these all the time. These are my absolute favorite. I have to eat these daily, and if I go a day without one, I'm very sad. So when you sign up for Hungry Root, it'll have you take this quiz, and it'll learn your preferences. And then that way, it'll help you like make suggestions and send you things, so it feels very personalized. It's not generic. It's not just one size fits all. So if you're eating a certain way, it helps, it learns that you're eating gluten-free, you're eating high protein, that kind of thing. And it'll learn that and then help make suggestions and different things like that. And it just makes it so convenient. One of the things that I enjoy is dinner doesn't have to be a big production. I can make this meal. It can be super simple, but it tastes like I put a lot of time and effort into it, which is what I enjoy. And like I said before, not only do they have the meals, they have snacks, they have smoothies, breakfast items, you name it, fresh produce, all the things that you need from a normal grocery store, but you don't have to run out, you don't have to get it comes right to your door. Everybody knows that's a time saver, and for me, it's a money saver, because then I'm not just putting random things into my cart. I hate that. I do that. I'm so guilty of that at the grocery store. So this has been a great money saver for me also. One of the things that I really appreciate about Hungry Root is they don't add hormones or antibiotics to their meat. They also aren't using like preservatives and artificial sweeteners, things like that. They only have the good stuff. I am so thankful for Hungry Root sponsoring today's video. And right now they have a great offer for you where if you order, you get 40% off your first box, plus you get a free item for life in every box. So you need to go to hungryroot.com and use my code Leslie. So I'll leave a link down in the description box. Do not forget to use my code Leslie to get that 40% off your first box and your free item for life in every box. And a big thank you to Hungry Root for sponsoring today's video. Now that he's out there being nice and fed, he chows that stuff down. Wait, I forgot my other wrapping paper. Okay, this next question, this is fun. How do I maintain a healthy diet exercise plan with all I have to do? And then how do I maintain a clean and tidy home? Okay, one, you guys now, after seeing Hungry Root, know how I maintain, picking out things to eat. It's learned like how I eat and that type of thing. I am a calorie counter. I always have been, and it's worked for me my whole life. It's kept me thin my whole life. And so that's how I do. And then if you guys follow over on Instagram, you guys know I walk all the time. I love to, walk and chat with you guys sometimes. And so that is my big thing, is walking. Now in the winter, I'm kind of bad because I don't like to be in the cold at all. And so I don't exercise as much as I need to in the winter, but I do have a bike that I ride in the winter, like an indoor exercise bike, and I really do need to get it out because I've been slacking. And then, okay, let's talk about clean, tidy homes. Here's the deal. A couple years ago, I was really sick all the time, and I also became Jason's caregiver through the VA. And so one of the things that nice social worker suggested was once a month getting someone to come in and do the things that, the hard stuff like mopping and those kind of things, because I clean toilets all the time. And so back then I got someone to come in just once a month, and they like really deep cleaned my floors and all those kinds of things, cleaned the places, like she moves my furniture and like sweeps under it. Well, now that I feel better, I haven't got rid of her because I love them. And so, but it's only once a month. So let's be honest, we can't just go around only cleaning our house once a month. But it's really nice because I get that extra like deep clean. And so I feel it's, I've never had anyone, it was really, I'll be honest, it was really hard to let someone else come in my home and do that. I'd always been the one who kept our house clean and tidy. And so it felt really weird to me to have someone come in. And now, girl, come on in and clean my house. Let's go. This one, do any of your grandkids notice anything different about their grandpa? I saw from your pictures that they have a great time with him. He seems to still enjoy helping you with chores, or so it seems. Does he still show time? Oh, yes. Love you both. Oh, thank you, Linda. So, no, they're too young. And he's always had dementia basically their whole lives. And he's just a fun grandpa. I do think sometimes they wonder, like, if grandpa's sleeping, they just think grandpa's tired. They're going to know more as they get older. But right now, he's the fun grandpa. He does stuff with them. And I don't think they think anything different. And I love that. Do you have pieces of decor that when you look at it, gives you a happy feeling every time you look at it? My living room. I walk in my living room, and ever since I redid it, you guys, with that blue sectional, and I put that wall molding and those sconces, oh, it's so pretty. I love my living room, like I was talking about earlier, and I just think it's so beautiful, and I love it. And every time I walk in there, I'm like, oh my goodness, this is so pretty. Is Jason losing much in terms of memory and recognizing family members? It really looks like he isn't. Okay. Thank you for this question. I think your name might be Susan. We have a channel called Living with Dementia that we update everyone. Jason does not have, like, he hasn't lost his long-term memories. He knows everybody. Now, if he met you, maybe like, he has no short-term memory. So if he met you 2 years ago, he's going to be like, I don't know who you are. But in terms of him losing, he hasn't lost his long-term memory, just his short-term memory. So it's the day-to-day struggles in life that are hard. You have to feed Jason, you have to remind him to eat, or sometimes he eats and then thinks he needs to eat again because then he forgot that he ate. And, he just all the little things that we take for granted that we just do, he can no longer drive. He can no longer take care of any type of financial responsibility. He can't be responsible for anything. So he has lost a lot. Jason was such a successful businessman and traveled the world. And, he was high up in the military and led, hundreds of troops. And so he has lost a lot. So we are thankful that he has his long-term memory and he has not forgotten us. Oh, I love this one. I would love to know what your favorite Bible verse is. So my favorite Bible verse, love it, is Romans 12:2. And it has always been a favorite of mine for several years now because I really want to remind myself to not conform to this world. I want to seek that perfect will of God. And so I highly encourage you to read. Romans is amazing. If you want to really learn about, getting to know the Lord and salvation and all the things of the world, I feel like Romans is so good. But read Romans 12:2. That's my top Bible verse. Okay, this person wants to know if I figured out a different solution for the couch for Jason. So what they're talking about is from the Day in the Life video we did a little while back. Jason keeps wanting to sleep out in his sunroom, and he sleeps on that couch out there. And no, he doesn't want a different solution. I have asked, and he says that he likes having the back. So it's like when he lays, so then when he turns, he has that back. And so I mean, it's kind of like a day bed. So I've even suggested that, but he was like, no, he doesn't want to bring a bed into there. We both, because he has his long-term memory, we both have a very negative feeling about beds in living spaces because of, like, both of my parents died in the living room in a bed because they were on hospice and they died of lung cancer. And so you associate bringing in that bed into that living space. I know I do. I know he does. We've talked about it. And you associate that with like death. And yeah, Jason's not to that point. And I think that's part of the reason he doesn't want a bed in there. He says he's comfortable. And I'll tell you what, if he wasn't, he would let me know, because he's very verbal about his opinions and his wants and likes and needs and all that kind of thing. So I'm leaving well enough alone. I'm like, I'm not going to worry about this. If he's fine with sleeping on this sofa, I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to leave it as it is. Someone wants to know, do I have a special ornament? Yes, I actually have a few special ornaments. They are both of my babies' very first Christmas ornaments. And then instantly I choke up. I have a special ornament for my mom and my dad. Those are like super special. And then I have a few other. I have ones for my dogs. I know that's so silly, but they mean so much to me. And so I just have this little grouping of little special ornaments that I keep on my tree, and they will be there till the day I die. What is my first Christmas memory with Jason? Are you guys ready for this? This is one of my first Christmas memories with Jason. He has always spoiled me. Always. I'm not even rapping. I'm just talking. I should be rapping. Hold on. Jason has always spoiled me. And when we were kids, because remember, we started dating when we were 15, Jason bought me a leather, like, bomber jacket. I still have it to this day. I can't get rid of it. It means so much to me. That Jason. He was always just a hoot, and he just would spoil me. Would take me to, my grandma was always just so fascinated because he would take me to what we would call back then a fancy restaurant. Now that I'm older, it's not fancy. It wasn't a fancy restaurant, but you could get steak, and he would take me for steak. And I love steak. And that was a big deal when you're 15, 16 years old back in the 90s. So anyway, so that Christmas, and Jason didn't come from money either, by the way. He was a military family, and they moved all over. But Jason was a hard worker. He was such a hard worker ever since I met him. He was that kid who had a job when he was like 9 years old, throwing the paper. And then he was like 13, 14 years old, and he worked at IHOP as a dishwasher busboy. And then he just always had jobs because he liked money and he wanted to work hard and get money. And so he would spoil me, and he got me that leather bomber jacket, and I thought I was the coolest person in the whole wide world. It chokes me up because it's such a special memory, but at the same time, it makes me so sad. It's so sad to see my little hard worker not there anymore. I will tell you that Jason gave me my work ethic. He's pushed me to do anything and everything that I've done. And I used to see all the things that he did. And so when I'm running around trying to do everything and take care of everybody and make a living and everything, I think about everything that he used to do. And it's nothing in comparison to what he used to do. And I know he's really proud of me. So thank you guys so much for always supporting this channel and everything that we do in order for me to stay here with him. Oh, thank you. I had to go get some Kleenex and get it together, man. What in the world? All right. I'm going to go focus on rapping because all this talking, I cannot focus. And so I'm going to go focus on this because I have to get these presents out today. Thank you guys so much for being here with me. Little life update. Enjoy your Christmas holiday. I am taking a break next week. So no video next week. I'm going to enjoy some time. So we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.